Okay, hello. Welcome back to our live stream for today. Okay, let me fix things lang. Let me fix some technical issue before we start. There you go. There. Wait. Okay. So let us start already with our next session. So a quick recap from what we have discussed from the last session, last live stream. So last time that we have discussed here who are our players during this discussion. We have your players, we have the family and the friends. So we started on here with the Miller family, the Lakeside Pool friends, yeah. And then we also have here the players by their story. So we started on Susan. Remember that Susan and Ben are connected to each other because both they are dating, right? They are dating. So okay, while Susan lives in Miami, while Ben is just live or moved to Miami for at least 3 years, okay, from the past 2 years. Okay, we also have Maria. Maria is an exchange student from Mexico. And Anna is also like Ben, who moved to Miami 6 months ago. Okay, so she's living in Miami for 6 months already. So Jake is dating Anna. Okay, so but Jake is the competitor of Ben, which is Susan's boyfriend. Okay. Um, okay. Okay, so after we done with the players, introducing with the players or the introduction with the players, okay, yeah, and we started already with the chapter 1. Okay, for the chapter 1, we have here chapter 1, part 1. And there we have the part 1 and the part 2 overview. So this is the first chapter when we're talking about nouns. Okay, and for the part one, yan, you will form the English nouns. Yan, what information do nouns give? Yan, so we have the types of nouns, number of nouns, noun suffixes, gender of nouns, and then articles. And then we have also for the part two that we will soon on discuss, which is the uses of English nouns. And so what jobs can nouns do? We have noun as subject complements, possessive nouns, noun as direct object, and then noun as object of preposition. So we started on the part one, which is the form of English nouns. Yan. So what is noun? So remember that a noun is a word that is used to name a person, thing, or even an idea. So under the types of noun or under the noun, we have the one, two, three, four, five, six types of noun. We have proper and the common noun. Proper is the specific name, okay, of nouns, while the common nouns is not specific name of nouns. Concrete nouns is the nouns that we can touch, right? Or we can use our five senses. While the abstract noun, these are the nouns, okay, that not knowable through the senses, but we can just fit it inside. Okay. And we have the collective and compound. Collective is a collective or the group of nouns, while the compound noun is a single noun labeled as concept composed of two or more words. Okay. So when it's two or more words, that is a compound. Okay. Yeah. So let us continue already with the continuation of our lesson. So we are done already identifying the types of nouns. So now let us start with the 1.3. Yan. One or many, singular, which is and one is singular and then many is plural. Okay, so one or many or singular and plural nouns. Okay, so nouns carry information about number. So when a word refers to one person or thing, it is singular in number. Okay, so again, let me repeat that. Nouns, okay? Nouns carry information about number. Yes. So nouns can be just not one only. It can be for multiple, like in the collective, right? That's why we have the group of nouns. So when a word refers to one person or thing, okay, we call it as a singular in number because it's just one. That is why it's singular because it's single. Okay? When sorry, when it refers to more than one, let's say there are two or three, of the same type of thing, it is called as plural in number. So when we say plural, it is multiple. So either two nouns, three, four, five, 10, and many more. Okay, so that is the difference of the singular and the plural, okay, in noun and in number. So for example, we have here the representation or visualizing it so you can understand. Yan. So when it's one, okay, we have one ball. So it is singular. When we have more than one, so as you can see, more than one, we have three balls here. So even there are three balls, that is plural. Get it? Understood? Okay. So for the next one, okay, we also have here the number of a noun. Okay, in this one, the number, okay, of a noun is indicated by its ending. So the final letters of a noun determine how its plural is formed. Okay, so the final letter or the last letter of the word. So that way you can already base it, right, on the word itself to check if it's a plural or it is a singular. Okay? Yeah. So we have here the following examples illustrate how to change from the singular form of a noun to the plural form of a noun. Okay? So how can we make a singular, okay, a singular word into a plural form? Okay? So we have here the plural of most nouns is formed by, let me emphasize this, adding S. So for example, we have here the word ball. So this is a ball, right? A ball is singular, okay, because it's only one again. So how can we make it into plural? So it says here the plural are formed by adding S. So basically we have the word ball here. That's the time that we will add the S here. After, right? After the last letter of the word ball. Okay, so the last letter is L. So that's the time that we will add the S. Okay, the end. Okay, so it pronounces as balls. Okay, with S. Balls. Because we have two balls here. So it is more than one. Balls is more than one. Okay, because we have two. So it is a plural form. Okay, it is more than one and it's multiple. Right? Okay. So next one, for nouns ending in S, X, Z, SH, and CH are added as, or we add with ES. Okay, so for example, again, we have here the word watch. So the watch end with the letters C and H. Okay, it is mentioned for ending in, for those words or noun that ends with the letter S, ends with the letter X, Z, SH, or CH, okay, R, okay, or we will add an ES to it. So look at here the word watch. So the word watch ends with the C and H, right? So that's the time that we will add the ES to make it into a plural form. So it will become watches, because again we are making it to plural form, and though two, we have two watches and it is more than one, so we add es to it, or it became as watches. Understood? Yan. Okay, we are down with the two. So now for the next one. Okay, for the next one, we have here nouns ending with the letters F. Sorry, can highlight it. Okay, F or FE. Okay, form their plurals. Okay, form their plurals by changing the F or E into letter V. And that's the time that we will add the E and S. Okay? So for example, we have the noun or a noun word which is wife. So the noun word wife ends with an F and E, right? It is said here. It nouns that ending with the F and E. Okay, it also ends with F and E. So we are going to replace the letter F into letter V. Okay, so it become wives. So as you can see, we have two girls here that are a wife. Okay, so there are multiple wife. So we call it as wives. It when it is plural. Okay. Did you get it already? So remember that we have three ways on changing it. Okay, we just discussed the three ways. The first three ways when, okay, we can change the noun or singular form into plural when adding s, while the others when the words or word noun ends with an s, with an x, with a z, with the sh and the ch. Right, that's the time that we will add the es to it. Like watch became watches. Same goes here. If the word ends with letter f or letters f and e, okay, we will replace it into letter v and then add an es, so it will become a plural form. So like the wife turns into wives. Got it? Okay. So hopefully you got it, everyone. Okay. So next, what is the other way that we can make a noun word into plural? So another way that we have here. Oh, sorry, what has happened? All right, another way that we can make a noun word into plural is if the noun word ends with letter Y, form their plurals by changing the Y into I. Okay, so if again, let me make things clear here so you can understand. If the word ends with the letter Y, we have to remove the letter Y and replace it to letter I. Once the last word is letter I, or the last letter of the word is letter I, that's the time that we will add es to the word to make it become as a plural. Okay? So for example, we have family. So family ends with the word, or sorry, ends with the letter Y. So that right, this is correct. So now we are going to remove it. We're going to remove it by change it into letter I like this, and we will add the es to it. So it became as families. So if there's only one group of noun or one collective noun which is family, okay, that's the time if there are two, more than two family, okay, it will be called as families. Okay, like in here in the right side, these are the families because we have more than two groups of family or two group of noun. Understood? Okay. So we have also another one here. Take a look at the other noun endings to discover other irregular noun plurals. Sorry. Okay, so you have to always check at the last letter of the noun word, before you make it into plural. Okay, because it may be wrong spelling if you not consider or if you do not know what you should replace or what you should add to the noun word to become it as a plural form, a plural noun form. Okay, same goes with the other words. But since we're in noun, right? So we are focused on the noun first. Okay. Okay. So next one. Okay. Okay. So for the next one, okay, under the noun, we have here let us have a closer look at the noun endings. So common noun suffixes. Okay, so when we say suffixes, okay, we will discuss it on. Here we have here the definition of suffixes. So we have to check first the noun endings because there are the irregular nouns. Okay, so we can make it into the common noun suffixes. So we have here the main part of a word is called the root word. Okay, so for example, from here, when we say root word, it's just the root word itself, the simple word. Okay, so for example, we have the families. The root word of the families is family because we add here some letters, right? And then this is the standard form or the normal form of a word of the families. Okay? But once we add this one, this is not a root word already. It has already added, okay? It has already added letters, so we call it as suffixed word. Okay? So we have here the suffixes. So suffixes are added to the end of the root word. Okay, so again, let's go back here from the word family, right? This is our root word, family, because it is a simple word. There is no added letters to it, right? Or suffixes as we call it, right? When we say suffixes, again, these are the added letters to the end of the root word. So we have the family as the root word, and then we have the suffix, the ies, okay, ies, because we make it into plural, and to plural form. Okay, so the ies is the suffix letter, okay, to that is added at the end of the noun word, okay, which is the family. Okay, but this time we just remove the Y and replace it into I. Okay, understood? Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so for the suffixes, yeah, suffixes are added to the end of the root word, and a suffix consists of one or more letters. Okay, so like this one in the families, we have one, two, three letters here as a suffixes. Okay? Okay, so another thing for suffixes, these are the syllables that added, okay, syllables that added to the end of a root word to change its meaning. Yes. Excuse me. So yes, when we are adding suffixes to the words, right, or to a word, it actually changes the meaning. Okay? Okay, so we have here the first type, okay, when we are adding suffixes to a word, okay, so or to a noun, okay. So we have here adding adding er, this one, the er indicates the person who is carrying out an action. Okay? So who is doing the action? So if we add the er or the suffix er to the root word, okay, he is the one who's doing, or he or she is the one who's doing the action. Okay? Excuse me. So for example, we have a sentence here that a person and a person who swims is a swimmer. Oh, sorry, is a swimmer. So in here, we have here the word swimmer. So as you can see, the er is bold there because that is the suffix that we add to the word swim. Okay, the root word of swimmer is swim, only this one. Yeah, that is the root word, the one that highlighted. That is the root word, swim. And then, okay, we add an ER to it, but we have to double the letter M. So it will became correct spelling. So it will become swimmer. So the swimmer is the person, okay, we are referring here is says right hat when there an er, it indicates the person who is carrying out the action. So the person who is carrying out the action is the person who swims. Okay, did you get it? This is very simple. Okay, I another one. So note, and says here note. Yan, because of spelling rules, the M is double. That's what I am mentioned earlier. So if we just remove the letter M here, the other letter M, it will become wrong spelling. Okay? Because the correct spelling of swimmer, it has double M. It has two M's here. Okay? Then right after you double the letter M, that's the time that we will add the ER. Okay? Okay, so next one. Okay, so next one, adding the ants or the ANCE. So if we're going to add this, it indicates the fact or state of carrying out an action. Okay? State or fact. Okay? So if earlier is who's the one who's carrying out the action, this time naman who that I mean sorry that indicates the fact or stating out or stating of carrying out an action. Okay? So for example, we have a sentence someone who performs gives a performance. Okay? So basically we have the word performance here. So the root word of this is perform. Okay, that is the standard or the single word of performance. It is perform. As you can see, we add the ANCE here or the ANS. Okay, so the one who performs. Okay, it's a fact that someone is performing. Okay, so it's the fact is or the state is someone who performs. Okay, gives a performance. Okay, do you get it? Okay, so next one. Okay, so we are down with the two. Okay, now let's add the suffix ness or the NESS, ness. So we will add the ness if it indicates a quality or a state of being. So for example, the state of being happy is happiness. Right? The state of being happy is happiness. And okay, so we have here the quality, okay, of being. So we have here the word happiness. Okay, the root word of this is happy. It is beside of it lang, right? It is beside of it. So happy, yan, we have here again the rule. Because of the spelling rules, the Y will be changing into letter I. So this is the Y, right? The root word of happy. And then let us replace it into I. So if you already replaced it, that's the time that you will add the ness, the suffix ness. Okay? Yeah, so this is the state of being, which is happy, okay, is happiness. Okay, so this is very simple topic. Okay, we're done already. Okay, we are done with the second and the third page. That's cool, right? Okay, so this is how you put on the common nouns. Okay, you put suffixes into a common nouns. Okay, this is very simple. So remember, let's have a quick recap before we continue. So remember that we have here in ER. Okay, this one we will add if someone who is carrying out an action or who's doing an action. Okay, like a swimmer. So the root word of this is swim. Okay. So next one is the ants or the ANCE. We will indicate or we will add this one to the common noun if this one indicates the fact or the state. of carrying out an action. Okay, so for example, the performance. Okay, so next one. And last for this page is the NESS or the NESS. We will add it if it indicates a quality or a state of being. Okay, the state of being happy daw. Okay, the state of being happy is happiness. Okay? Yeah, so be careful lang if ever that you're going to apply it into different common nouns. Be careful on adding them because as you can see like in here in the first one you have to double the m because of the spelling rules. Same goes with happiness, replacing y into an I because of the spelling rules again. So be mindful on the spelling. Double check the word if you have to change or remove some letters to the root word itself. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So there you go. We are done with the second page. So now let's go to the third one. Okay, so for the third, oh no. Yeah, give me a sec. Okay, so for the third one, for the fourth one, I mean. So we're going to add the suffix ety, ity, or the et. So we will add here in the common noun if it indicates an action or state of affairs that is an abstract. So remember, right, when we say abstract noun, these are the nouns like nouns that um feelings, kumbaga feelings or affairs, okay? So for example of a sentence, we have something that is possible is a possibility. Okay? So does make sense, right? Okay, so we have here the root word of the word first, which is possibility. So possibility is or the root word of possibility is possible. Okay, so as you can see, there's no um possible. Ayan. And then we add the ity or the et, okay, to the possibility. So before that, look, there is something that changes into the word possibility. Okay, we remove the letter e. Okay, and then we add the suffix et or the ity, but because again with the spelling rules, right? It's really important that we should check always, okay? Always the spelling of the word before you add the suffixes. What are the things that you have to remove, okay? So there's a note here also that recognizing these suffixes, the suffixes can help you identify nouns. The ability to distinguish nouns from other words is very useful. Yes. So when you are recognizing the suffixes of their word, okay, except if it's only a root word like this, possible. So there is no suffixes to it because it is a root word. Okay? Yan. So the ability, and okay, so when you recognize the suffixes, this will help you identify the nouns easily. Okay, and the ability to distinguish nouns, it says here, from the other words is very useful. Yes, is because you can change or you can understand its meaning. Okay, when you can distinguish or identify them, right? So that is why it's really important for you to learn first things first, what is noun, what are the types of it, what are their uses, how can you use it, right? And what else? Um, what are the singular and plural? How can we change it, right? Give me a sec. Okay, there you go. Sorry. Hi, and And also, yan, so once you already learn those, right, identifying the singular and the plural, how can you make the singular into plural? And now, by adding suffixes to the common nouns, so you can actually change its meaning, right? And it has a purpose in the sentence. Okay? Okay, so we are down already with the common nouns by adding suffixes. So now let's go to the next topic. Okay, so for the next topic, okay, this is very exciting. Okay, so this is the biological nature for nouns. So we have here this one, the title, the biological nature. So we have here the masculine, the feminine, and the neuter noun. So if we remember in the first later part of our sessions, I discussed that there is no just other than the number nouns, we can also identify the gender using the nouns. Okay, that's really cool. Right? Because we can distinguish them and we can understand, oh, this is a noun. This is a noun for masculine, this is a noun for feminine, and this is for the neuter nouns, right? So in here, English nouns do not have gender. Okay? So that is, they are not inherently masculine or nor a feminine. However, they may refer to male or female people, or it can be animals. When things have no clear gender, they are often said to be inanimate objects or things, and they are thought of as being neuter. Okay? So let me explain further about what is this sentence about. Okay. So it says here, most of the gender nouns have no gender. Okay. English nouns, they have no gender. Okay. So they cannot be a masculine, they cannot be a feminine. Okay. But however, a feminine or a male or female, diba, can be for people or for animals, right? Animals has gender too. We can identify them if they are a female, if they are a male, right? So when they don't have a gender, unlike the animal and people like us, okay, we are, or there are in inanimate the object or things. So what kind of object? For example, the hair brush, the microphone, the clothes, and so on. Okay? So let us start here. Before we continue pala. So for these objects or things, these are considered as a neuter. Okay? So you guys can understand it more let us continue the discussion in here. So we have here the first one, or the first gender that we call it as masculine nouns. So why is it called as a masculine nouns? Because these are the nouns that refer to a male, people, or animals. So these are called as masculine nouns. So as you can see in the picture in the left side, this is a male, right? A male human. Okay, we have male dogs as animals, male cats, and many more, right? So nouns says here that, for example, we have example of masculine nouns. We have Mr. Miller. Okay, Mr. Miller, if you remember him, is the part of the family Miller, right? So Miller is also a man. That's also an example. Father, okay, an actor, and a bull. Okay, other than this, we have, let's say, if you are very familiar with the characters of the Avengers, okay? Let's say Iron Man. Iron Man, we have the word man in the last word, right? So Iron Man is masculine. Thor. Thor is a masculine name. Let's say Vic. Vic is a masculine name, also a masculine name, right? Okay? So those are the masculine nouns. Very simple. Okay, while if we have a male noun or a masculine noun, we have here the feminine nouns. So, feminine nouns, these are the nouns that refer to female people or animals, are feminine nouns. Okay, for example, if we have Mr. Miller as a masculine, we have Mrs. Miller, the wife of Mr. Miller, and the part of the Miller family, right? We have woman. Woman is a feminine. Mother, actress, a cow, right? Or let's say sister, or a hen. Hen is a female chicken. Remember that, right? A cock is a male or a male chicken. So cock is for masculine, but the hen chicken is for feminine nouns. Did you get it? It's very easy, right? And this is a very interesting topic because it has a lot of, or it focuses on the gender. Okay, feminine for male, masculine for, masculine. Sorry, I got it opposite. Masculine is for male, and then feminine is for female. Right? Okay, now let's go to the next one. The next one is, we call it as the neuter nouns. So what is this neuter nouns, teacher or ma'am? Okay, so a neuter nouns is, or are nouns that denote things of neither gender, are neutral or neuter nouns. So these are the nouns that is non-living things. When we say non-living things, these are the objects or things that have mentioned earlier in the paragraph. So these are, again, for example, we have the locker. This one is the locker. That is a non-living thing. That is an object, right? We also have a ball, right? Ball is a non-living thing, okay? We have a towel. So like this is the towel. That is non-living thing also. And we also have a lotion. Okay, lotion is a non-living thing. The one that you put in your skin. Is it alive? No. Okay, it's not breathing. Unlike the feminine and masculine, there are the living things. They can breathe, they can talk, they can move. But unlike this neuter nouns, this has no gender at all. They don't have a a female organ or a male organ. Okay, and they're not moving. If unless you're going to move that object, then it moved. But if you're expecting that a neuter nouns can move on their own, no, they're not. There or cannot. They cannot move on their own because they are non-living things. Understood? Okay. Yeah, I really like this topic because it focuses again on the gender. Okay, even the things that cannot move are considered as a gender noun. Okay, even though they don't have any gender, right? Okay, so for finishing up this topic, so these are the nouns often come in the company of other words. So yes. Okay, so other than nouns, when we are constructing or saying words like what I'm doing right now, we are using different kinds of words. And one of them are using nouns. Okay? So it is important to learn about these little words since they signal that a noun follows, and this could assist you in identifying nouns more easily. Yes, it is true. Okay, for by identifying them, by learning them, you can easily, oh, the one that I mentioned earlier, like the football, right? Football is a noun. A player, a football player is also a noun. So let's say I have my English, let's say my Mrs. Miller as my English teacher, for example, she is a noun. So by learning this kind of topic, you are understanding that this is a types of noun that we have: common, proper, neutral, neutral nouns or neuter nouns, feminine, masculine, what else? Collective and what do you call this? Wait, let's go back to the types for nouns. I forgot already. Sorry. And collective and compound, concrete and abstract. Okay? Understood? Okay, dogs. So if you have just any questions, just you can just use the chat box or the comment section in there in the YouTube channel or in here in Restream, so I can answer it clearly. Okay. Okay, there you go. So for next topic, okay, we are in the fourth page already. We are almost done with the first half, okay, of our session for today. So in the first topic, our next, sorry, for the next topic that we have the in the company of noun for articles. So we have here nouns are often accompanied by articles. So also commonly called as the noun namers. These are placed before a noun. Okay? So these articles are words, okay, that used for the noun namers. Okay? So for example here, okay, we have a sentence here, a boy or two word, we have a boy. Okay, so the indefinite article, we use the letter A or a, or an, used before a noun starting with a vowel. Okay, so signals that noun is indefinite noun. So it can refer to any member of a group as opposed to one particular member. Okay, so remember the difference of using an a and an an. Okay, a, okay, a if the word starts with any consonants. So, right, if you know the consonants are B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Those are the consonant. But if we're going to use the N, okay, and if the word starts with a vowel, let me emphasize that. Vowels like A, E, I, O, U. Those are vowels, right? Okay. So, for example, we have here a boy. Okay. So, we have here the article A. And as you can see, the noun boy starts with the consonant B. Okay. So, it means this boy is an A noun or an indefinite noun. Okay? Another one, because this one is a general noun, okay, or common nouns. So a boy is singular, okay? So because we have one boy. Okay, another one. There is no indefinite article used with plural or for general nouns. Okay? Alright, so for example, we have or we saw two boy or two boys because it's plural. Okay, so we cannot use any article with this. Okay, and as the ruling also for grammar. So for when you see that there are two boys, then you're just going to add the letter S to make it into plural form. Okay, that is for the general nouns or the common nouns as we call it. Understood? Okay, so for the next one, the indefinite article the or the is used before a singular noun when the noun is particular or specific. Okay, so for example, you already saw that there is a boy, okay, and you already know his name. Okay, so we have a noun boy. That's the time that we will put the boy, okay, or the boy. Okay. Okay. How about when it's plural, teacher or ma'am? So the definite article the is also used before a plural noun when the noun is particular or specific. Same goes with the singular form of noun. So we have here, we can see two boys here. So we have here the, let's add the, and we have boys. The boys. Understood? And this is very simple. Okay, so that is a noun accompanied by some articles. Okay, so we have a hint here. A is used before words beginning with a consonant. I already mentioned it. And then an is used before words beginning with a vowel. Okay? Okay, so that is for, okay, that is for the first part of the article nouns. For again, let's have a recap again. So let's see. So you can understand more. Again, we will use the a and an. A if the word starts with any consonants. And we will use an and if the word or a noun starts with vowels. Okay. So like this one, a boy. So this boy, this is the next word. This is the noun, right? So we have here the first letter, which is B, that is a consonant. So that's the time that we will add a boy, okay? But if it's plural form of boys, we cannot use an article a or an. But we can use it with an article the boys, okay? Same goes here for the singular of boys. We have boy. Okay? So remember the different uses of these, okay? Before we add these articles. So right, we have three articles: the the an, I mean, and or a. Okay? All clear? Okay. So next one. Okay, we are in the last page already for the first half of our session. Okay, so for we are still continue in the article. Okay, noun accompanied by an article. So we have here noun starting with a consonant. So this time we have an example already. So for example, we have the phrase as a beach towel. So this is a beach towel. So the noun here we have beach towel. So the first word of a noun starts with a consonant. So that's the time that we will use the article a. Okay? So it read as a beach towel. Okay? While if the first word starts with a vowel that like the a, e, I, o, u, we will put the article an. So for example, this phrase an air mattress. Okay, so as you can see, we have the nouns here, the air and the mattress. Okay, so the word air as the first noun starts with a vowel a. Okay, so that's the time that we will add the article an. So it read as an air mattress. Okay, a beach towel, an air mattress. Okay, understood? That is the difference of these two. Okay, so it's very easily to distinguish which is the noun because we are using an articles like a and an and the article the or the. Okay, and I hope you are learning with this. This is very interesting topic. Okay. So another one, part one, look at the form of nouns, right? We are looking how the noun forms by adding suffixes, by changing the singular to plural, by adding articles to it, right? By identifying what are the types of noun, okay? The common, the proper, the concrete, the abstract. What else? We also have the collective and what do you call this again? Let's go back. Collective and compound noun, right? Okay, so let me move here. There you go. Okay, so and continuation, many concepts introduced in this section will appear again in this again later in this book. So this concept, we will still apply it into other types of topics, okay, not only with nouns. So next, let's take a closer look at what nouns can do. So now we already learned how it forms. Now we will learn already, or you will learn how nouns can do in a sentence or in the other way. Okay? So basically, this is the last page. So we're going to finish here. And we will have a small break later after this last page for the first half of our session for today. Okay? Okay, so we are down already with the part one for nouns. Now let's go to the part two. So the part two is uses of English nouns. Okay, so we have a question here. What jobs can nouns do? So yes, a nouns has jobs. A nouns has purpose. Okay, they have a lot of uses in this. Right? When we're not just forming them, we are actually using them in a different ways. They have a job. It's like a human being. They are also working into a different sentences, right? Okay. Okay, so let us continue further. So from here, from the part two, we have from form to use of noun. So we are done forming it now. We are going to use it already. So it says here, nouns have jobs to do. So let's see, what is the job of a noun? Well, how can noun work? Right? So here, when you express a thought or idea in a sentence, you place words into what is called context. Yes. So when you are placing word together, you are building or creating a context to it. Okay? So nouns are assigned different roles or jobs to do when they are used in the sentences. So they have their own uses in the sentences. They're not just put into a sentences because we wanted to. No, they have their own job. They have their own purpose in the sentences. So we have here is an example to illustrate used in context. Okay? So we have here this picture. Okay, so the context for all of these things is their use in water, right? So, for example, in the stew, right, the two people. So, they are using a swim trunks or a swimming attire. We also have here the one that you use, lifesaver, or it's like when you it helps you float in water, the swimming goggles, and this one is used for swimming. Okay, so basically based on how we explain or name them, okay, they are used for swimming. Okay, they are used in water. Okay, so what is wrong with this picture we have here in this picture? Look at the picture very closely. What is wrong with this picture? What do you think is not right in that picture? Okay, so let us continue. So if Maria wants to wear a bathing suit, she needs a pool. There is no pool. She is like in a desert, right? And there is the pyramid that you can only see in a desert, right? Or in Egypt, right? Also, there is no lake, right? There's no lake or even a sea to put it to use. So you are in the far nowhere and you are wearing a bathing suit, but there is no way that you can swim using that bathing suit. So look at Maria. She is in a full gear of swimming, but there is no where for you to swim, right? So here in the desert, she is in the wrong environment to wear a bathing suit. So this is not the right context. Okay? It is not the right context because it's not appropriate to the environment itself because you don't have anything to swim off. Okay? Similarly, Words have jobs to do for which they are suited. Okay? So when you are using words, remember I mentioned we are not just using it for own purposes. We are using it because it is appropriate. It is correct. Okay? So when you put a sentence together, that is grammatically correct. Yes, it's true. So you give each part the right job to do by checking the other words. If, oh, is this noun appropriate to the noun? Is this noun matched to the noun that I use? Or is this noun matched to the other words that I'm going to use? So I can create a context, I can create an idea, right? So that's the things that you have to consider. Always that you have to consider when you wanted to create a context or you want to use um words or nouns like this. Okay, always remember that they should be appropriate in and correct. Okay? Okay. Okay, so that is for the first half of our discussion, okay, or our first half of our session for today. Okay, so before we have a quick break, so let's have first a recap here for this last page. So remember, we are done on forming the nouns. We are doing the use of nouns already. We're going to learn, you guys learn it already. So nouns have their job, okay, to create a context. So we want to express thought or idea in a sentence, okay, by placing this word, by placing this noun, so we can have a context. So again, it should be appropriate like this, not like this one. You're in a desert, but you are wearing a bathing suit, right? So it should be always appropriate to your environment, to the other words that you are applying to the other words that you are putting it together. Okay. And so that is for the first half. Again, we started on the page. So we are in already, we stopped on the page 8 already. So we started on the page. Okay, we started on the page 4 for singular and plural nouns. Next for the page 5. Okay, page 5 is for common nouns by adding suffixes to it. And for the page 6, for the third page, we have here the biological nature. We have the masculine, feminine, and neuter nouns. For the fourth page, we discuss here a noun accompanied by the articles like the a and an and the. And lastly, for the fifth page, which is the number 8 page, right? Page 8, I mean, we are in the part 2 already. So we will use what are the jobs or what are the jobs, yes, of a noun. Okay, how can we use it after we form them? Okay. Okay, so that is for our first half of our session for today. So we will have a quick break first. Okay, a 10-minute break, or let's say a 5-minute break maybe. Yeah, let's have a quick break for me to rest my voice for a little. And we will continue for another 5 pages, okay? For the next half of our session for today, okay? Okay, so let's have a break for a little. Okay, we are back already. So we had like a quick 7 minute break. So I did not exceed the 10 minutes because I'm already okay with my little bit break. Okay, so now let's have a continuation of the second half of our session for today. So remember that we are already done with the first 5 pages of our session earlier from 8 for number 8 page. Okay, from the use of nouns for the part 2, for the articles, okay, noun that is a complement for articles. Yeah, for the biological nature, we have the masculine, feminine, and the neuter nouns. Next, we have the common nouns with suffixes. And lastly, earlier we discussed the one or many, which is the singular and the plural nouns. Okay. So now let's continue with our sixth or first page for the second half of our discussion for today. Okay, there. Let me go there lang. Page. Where are we? Here. Okay, so let us continue it already. Okay, so for the next one, we are done with the how the nouns are used. What are their job? Okay, so now we have here when nouns become subjects. Okay, hi. So let's discuss this one already. So nouns have specific jobs to do when placed within a sentence. Yeah, so when you put the nouns into a sentence, they have jobs or uses as we explained earlier. So these jobs are labeled as subjects, subject complements, possessive nouns or objects. And now let's take a look at each. So for this jobs, they are labeled as the subjects. Yan, subject, it means the topic in the sentence. Subject complements, possessive nouns or objects. Okay, so let us look at them each. Okay, so let's start with the subjects first. So the first and most important job that nouns can do in a sentence is to act as a subject. Okay, so when we say subject, this is the noun that is being talked about in the sentence. So the chart below, we have here the chart. Okay, the chart below shows how nouns became or become subjects. Okay? So they are still nouns, but they are now called as subject in the form of a noun. Okay, so they are the focus of the sentence, and their job is to carry out the action described by the verb. Yes. So when a noun became a subject, right, it is carrying a action word, okay, a moving word, okay, in the sentence, or we call it as verb. Okay, so a noun that names the person or persons or thing or things about which statement is to be made is labeled the subject. Okay. Okay, so let us look at the chart. So we have here nouns as subject. So we have here the first noun, we have Maria. So Maria became as a subject because she carries the word or the action word or the verb swims, right? So Maria swims. So who is swimming? Who swims? So it's Maria. So that's why she is the subject. One more. Okay, one more. We have here the noun pool. Okay, so let us make it into the subject. So first we will add the article the and then add the noun pool. So it became as the pool. So we have the verb opens. Okay, so which opens? So it is the pool, right? So that the pool is a subject already because it carries the noun, or sorry, it carries the verb opens. Okay, so next one, we have party. So we have the noun party. So party is a noun, but it is a subject by adding the article the. So it will become the party. Sorry, the party. So we have the verb here begins. So in going to read it together, that would be the party begins. So the party, the subject party, okay, it carry out the verb begins. Okay. And lastly, we have the friends. Friends is a noun also, and it is a subject by adding the again. So we have the friends celebrate. So the noun friends or the subject the friends carry out the verb celebrate. Okay, so that's why the friends is our subject here. Okay. Okay, so we're you going to read them all together with the verb. So we have Maria swims. Because who swims? It's Maria. What else? The pool open. Which or where did it open? In the pool. The pool is the subject. Next, the party begins. What begins? It is the party. And the friends celebrate. Who celebrated? So it is the friends. Okay? So that is how a noun, okay, became as a subject by adding them into a sentence or to the other word like the verb. And once you added it to a sentence, it became the subject itself. But don't forget, look at the other examples. We have here the articles, okay, that we use next to the noun itself, right? So it explains already that it is a noun at the same time it is the subject. Okay, let us continue. So we have here, and we are in the second page now. So we also have here any type of noun can become a subject. So yes, common or proper noun, abstract or collective nouns, and so on. They can be used as subject too. Okay, so nouns referring to people often act as subjects and are easily recognized. Okay, so that when you are using nouns that are person or people as a subject, they're easily recognized because they are always the one who's doing the action, the verb. Okay, or they are the ones who's carrying out the action or the verbs. Okay, so for proper nouns, okay, so for proper nouns, we have here examples of Ben, Maria, Mr. and Mrs. Miller. Okay, this is our proper nouns. While the common nouns, we have man, we have swimmer, and we have a girl. Okay. Okay, so these examples of common nouns and proper nouns can be used as subject. Okay, just remember that we need some words like verbs for with adding next to them, okay, or other words, so that we can know that this is a subject, okay, by also adding an article to it. Okay. Okay, so next one. So nouns referring to inanimate objects can also be used as subjects. Yes, even the objects or things are used for subject too. Yes, we can do that. Okay? So for examples, we have the object chair, the swimsuit, the suntan lotion, okay, and the school. Okay? So to find the subject of a sentence, use a question word. Okay. So when that's why what like what I'm doing right now. Who swims where it opens? Who is celebrating, right? What else? Let's go back to the ano. Okay, which one begins, right? So it answers some of the questions like the WH questions. Yeah. So when the subject is a person, use the question word who, because who is for a person. So it answers the question either a name of a person or a proper noun or noun of a person, or it can be answered for a common noun for a person. So for example, for the sentence Ben swims, we will ask the question who swims. Okay, the answer is Ben. So right, we have the sentence here it's Ben swims. So who swims? So it's Ben. So basically Ben is the subject here because he carry out the subject. I mean he carry out the verb, and at the same time Ben is a noun, is a proper noun, right? Is a proper noun. Get it? Okay? Okay, so for another one, okay, so in the example above, which is Ben swim, the statement is about Ben because basically who swims? Obviously, it's Ben. So there's no other nouns in there, only a verb, okay, and one noun, which is Ben. So the noun Ben is the subject of the sentence Ben swims. So Ben performs the action of swimming, and the verb swim tells what Ben does. Okay? So for the subject, it is necessarily that it has another information or another word that tells about the subject. So basically, Ben is our subject, and obviously it means there is another word that tells about Ben. So that is the verb swims. Did you get it? Right? This is easy lang. I like this topic too. Okay? Okay, another one. Okay? So when the subject is not a person, use the question word what. So let's say it's about in a object. Okay? It's about an object that, or let's say a fruit, right? Or a toy. And so for example, for the sentence the pool opens, we will ask the question what opens, right? So the answer is the pool, right? So for example here, yeah, this is like the sentence, the pool opens. So what opens? The pool. So basically, the pool is a noun, but it is considered as a subject because then again it carries out the verb opens, and also again like in the Ben swim, okay, it explains about the pool. Okay, so for example here in the picture below, okay, below in the left below in the lower left, yeah, full hours, it opens at 9 o'clock a.m. until 10 p.m. in the evening, right? So that is how you use a noun into a sentence. The use of noun here is a subject. Okay? So when you use it as a subject, it has a purpose. Okay? And it is accompanied by a verb that tells about the noun. Okay? So a noun should have an article first, like the a, and the an. So you can also identify that the subject is a noun. Okay? Understood? Okay. So we are down already with the two pages. Yeah. Okay, so let us have another example for who and what before we continue to the next page. So for example, let's use Maria. Okay, let's go back here. So Maria is a noun and a subject also. And we have the information about Maria as swims. Okay, so let's ask the question, who swims? So we use the question who, and it answers it by Maria because Maria is the subject and the swim tells about Maria. Okay. Okay, same goes here. The friends celebrate. Who celebrated? So it's the friends, right? And lastly, about this one, the party begins. What begins? It begins the party because begins tells about the subject or the noun party, the party. Okay? Okay, so this is a very simple topic. Okay? So now let's go to the next one. Okay, we are down with 2 pages already. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, give me a sec. Wait. Oh, what happened? Okay, do we have any questions before we continue on the next page? So if you have any question, don't be shy to ask. Or if you want me to repeat what have I been explained, that's also okay because we are in live. You can just recheck the live again after it is posted on YouTube channel, right? Okay, so let us continue already. Okay, there you go. So let's go back here for the pool. So in this example, the noun pool is the thing about which something is said. So the verb opens tells what is happening to the subject, right? To the subject pool. Okay, so Ben swims. So the sentences Ben swims and the pool opens are two examples illustrating the smallest type of sentences or a smallest type of sentence because it has a subject and a verb. Okay. So both sentences make a statement with the subject followed by the verb, and it became as a context too because it has a complete already and it is appropriate to um, the other words that is included to the sentences itself. Okay, so finding and recognizing the subject in a sentence is an essential skill to develop. So it is true. So it is as a skill that you still have to develop even though you have learned it already, even though you know it already. So it's really important that you have to learn it. So more details about sentence structure follow as we explain more about the different uses of nouns. Yes, as you learn the sentence structure with the subject and the verb. Okay. So you're also learning on how the nouns or the different nouns are used in the context or in the sentences. So, right, you can see here that it is not just adding the noun itself. You should consider what is the context, right? What is the idea you wanted to say, right? What is the things that you have to consider? So it should be appropriate or correct to the environment, or is it correct to the subject itself? Is it tells about the subject and so on? Yeah, that's why it's really important first that you have to discuss it already, okay? Or you have to learn it already, learn and understand it also, okay? Okay, wait, I have to drink water. Give me a sec. Okay, so let us continue. So, here is another important rule to remember. So, rather than checking on how to identify a subject, okay, we should have to remember this rule. So because it's important. So a sentence must have both subject and a verb, and it must express a complete thought. Okay. Yes, it is true. And like what I always keep on saying to you guys, that it should be appropriate to the word itself. Okay. It should be appropriate to the noun. It should be used as, so it tells about the noun. So it's really important that you just not use it because you wanted to, or you think it's just appropriate, but you're not sure, right? So you have to consider these things. Okay. Okay, so we are done already. So let's have a quick recap before we continue. So remember that noun is used for a subject. So that is the job of the noun, by putting it as a subject if it's either a proper or common noun. Okay? Yeah, so we are using also by asking questions first so that we can identify which one is the subject. Okay? So in here we started on the question who and what. Okay, so who is for person, and then what is for if it's not a person, for example, it is a place or a object, or sorry, if it's an object, right? Okay. So next one is the simple and compound subjects. So how can we use this? Okay. So in here, a sentence may have two or more nouns used as subjects and two or more verbs. So remember, right, that we have a, can we go back there for the types? All right, we have the collective and the compound nouns. So when we say collective, it is has numbers, and compound same goes also. So where are we? Okay, there you go. Okay. So remember that a sentence have multiple nouns. You can use that actually, but it is depends if it's only one subject, or both of the nouns that you used in one sentence can be a subject too. And for if the subject can be multiple, can be two, verbs can be two or more too. That tells about the subject. Okay? So, for example, this is the complete sentence. We have the Ben swims. So, Ben is a simple subject, and we have the verb swims. So, in the sentence Ben swims, Ben performs the action, and Ben is a singular noun, right? So, Ben is only one person. Okay. And Ben is the one who's doing the action swim. He is the performer, right? Or he is the one who carry out the action swims. Okay? So when just one noun is used as subject, okay, we call the subject as the simple subject. Yes. So when there is only one noun, okay, and it is used as the subject, and there's also one verb, then we call it again as a simple subject. Remember that, okay? So the noun can be either singular or plural. Yes, you can use either a singular noun or a plural noun to the sentence itself. Okay? So when a sentence has two or more nouns used as subjects that are joined by and, is it is has a compound subject, because we have two subjects already. We are using two nouns. Again, when we are using one noun as a subject only, it is called as simple subject. But when it has two nouns as our two subject, it is compound. But remember, it should be accompanied or joined or using the conjunction and. So for example, Ben and Jake. So both Ben and Jake are subjects in the sentence, right? So another one example, hamburgers and hot dogs are popular. So we have here two nouns, and it means this is two subject. The first subject is hamburger, the second subject is hot dogs. So that means it is called as the compound subject. When it's compound again, two subjects or multiple subjects. Okay? Okay. Okay. So let us continue. Okay, so the words hamburgers and hot dogs are the compound subject in the sentence. So a compound subject is composed of two or more nouns used as subjects. Yes, again, I remember that when it's a compound subject, two or more. It's not only, it cannot be only two, so we can consider it as compound subject. We can use 10, we can use 3, we can use 5 subjects. Okay, as if there's 5. Okay, so these nouns can be either singular or plural. Okay, so like in here in the example, hamburgers, that is plural. Hot dogs, that is also plural, right? Okay, so they represent the things about which something is being said. Okay, so they're representing all of the things that a verb tells or other information that tells about the subjects. Okay, okay, in the next section, you will learn how nouns can express a different concept when they are in the company of a another or company of another company of another noun. Okay? So we will see that in the next section. But of course, before we continue there, let's have a quick recap on this first. There you go. So again, remember when we had the simple and compound noun. Simple subject, okay? Remember that it is only one subject, like here, Ben swim. So we have a singular form of noun, Ben, and Ben is only one. It was his singular, so he is simple subject. Okay, while compound can be two or more subject or two or more nouns. So, for example, hamburgers and hot dogs. So, remember that you're going to join those two subjects by adding the word end. Okay? So remember that subjects can be plural or singular. Okay? Okay. So, now we are done with the two. So, now let's go through the third discussion or topic. So for the third one, we have here when one noun is not enough, okay? Subject complement. So we have here the subject complements. So for example, here we have here the menu from Fred's Foods, okay? Okay, so we have here Fred found out what customers likes best. So the customer likes or the result is the hamburger is the winner. So that is the Fred's customer's favorite, which is his burger. So, which is or what is the winner? So, right, we are asking a question to identify what is the subject. So, what is the winner? The winner is the hamburger. Okay, what is the subject complement? The subject complement is the winner. Okay, so in this example, the noun hamburger is the subject. Okay, while the winner, okay, another noun is the complement that describes or renames the hamburger. So it replaces the winner, the word the winner is replaces the subject or the noun hamburger. Okay? So when we do that, when we add that to the sentence, it is called the subject complement. Okay? So it is called a subject complement because, okay, because it gives more details about the subject hamburger. Yes, it tells about that the hamburger is not just delicious, but it also the it is also the winner for the customers taste, because maybe Fred's hamburger is really delicious, right? Okay, so in here, it explains that the hamburger is the best on his menu, or on Fred's foods menu. Okay. Okay, so for continuation, so in here, a subject complement, a subject complement describes or renames the subject. So that is the use of the other noun in the sentence. As you can see, we have two noun, the winner and the hamburger. So there are together, but there is no verb that is used here, but they are used as, either the other one is used for replacing the subject hamburger, and it tells about the hamburger, right? So when we do that, it is called the subject complement. Okay, so another example. Okay, we have here the hamburger. Okay, the hamburger is the winner. So the hamburger says here, noun used as subject, right? And then is a linking verb. While the winner in the sentence, the hamburger is the winner, is noun. Okay, noun used as the subject complement. Okay, so the verb is links to hamburger to winner. Okay, so for that reason, it is called as a linking verb. So the one that we use in the middle of the winner and the hamburger, it is called as the linking verb. So the linking verb that we use in the sentence, the hamburger is the winner, is. Okay, the linking verb is. Okay, so linking verbs help to make a statement. Okay, a statement not by expressing an action, but by serving as a link between the subject and the subject complement. So without this linking verb, that is why it is called linking, to link other words. Okay, so the other linking verbs that we have is, are, was, and where. So in here, we just use is. Okay? And so we use this thinking verb to connect it or to link it to the noun used as a subject complement and noun used as the subject. Okay? Do you understand? Understood, everyone? Okay? Okay, so this is very simple. Okay? Yeah, it's getting harder, but as you learn it very carefully, right, you are getting it, right? So that's why it's very simple for you to understand this topic itself. Okay? So now let's continue. Okay? Yeah, so the am, are, is, was, and were, okay, are all forms of the most commonly used linking verbs to be. Yan. So right, I mentioned the is, are, was, and were, even the am. Okay, it pronounces as am. They are part of the linking verb. Okay, it uses to link verbs, to link noun as a subject, or to link noun as a subject, and to link the, what do you call this? To link the subject complement. Okay? Okay, so we have here subject complements are placed after a linking verb. So for example, Maria was an exchange student. So Maria in here in the sentence is a subject. Was is a linking verb. After the linking verb, right, it says here we will put the subject complement. So the subject complement here is an exchange student. Okay, so that is our subject complement. So this is very simple, right? Okay, so in this example, the name Maria is the subject, right? So the linking verb was is followed by the phrase an exchange student. So which renames or describe the subject Maria? So write a noun. An exchange student is also a noun. Okay, but we have already the subject Maria. So this one cannot be the subject here. Okay, this cannot be a subject here because we have Maria already as a proper noun. This only just replaces or tells about our subject, which is Maria. Okay. Okay, so next one. So that makes the noun exchange student the subject complement, right? Already explained this. Okay, in your mind, replace the linking verb with an equal sign to remember that both nouns are equal value. Okay, so in the first example, hamburger linking, let this imagine this is the linking verb, and then we change it as an equal sign, and then we have the subject complement or the other noun winner. So hamburger are equal value of winner, okay, of the noun winner. And in the second example, we have Maria equals to or equal value of exchange student. So it's like Maria was an exchange student and hamburger is the winner, right? So any form of to be when it acts as linking verb can be represented by an equal sign, okay? So it's just you just put it on your mind whenever you're going to, whenever you are adding the linking verb like am, is, are, was, and were to your sentence. Okay, so it means when you put it on your mind that, oh, this should be an equal sign here, so there should be a linking verb here, so then it means, or that it means that the two nouns are equivalent to each other. Okay. Okay, so you will learn more about linking verbs in the chapter 4 soon. Okay, so for now, we're just focusing on the noun first because how can you use a noun, right? So down we are already down with a noun as a subject and a noun as the subject complement, right? Okay, but remember when we say subject complement is used to replace or to describe the subject which is which is another noun. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, so for the last topic for today's session, so we're going to finish this, okay, because okay, this is a little bit long. So maybe we cannot finish it. Maybe we stop here in the page 13 and we will continue this one on the next session, which is on Monday, right? Okay, so now we have here the possessive nouns as our next topic and showing relationship or ownership. Okay, so in here you will learn how to change the form of a noun to indicate a close relationship, like often ownership to another noun. So when you own something, right? So it means you have it already, okay, or they are all connected to each other. Okay, so to show a relationship or ownership of a noun, add an apostrophe, okay, either with or without the letter S. Okay, so how can we, what is that apostrophe, teacher? So the apostrophe is this one. Yeah, can you see it? The one that I highlighted beside the S that inside of open and close parenthesis, this one. So that is the apostrophe. You can add that with or without the letter S. Okay? So if the singular form of the noun doesn't end with an S, add an apostrophe followed by the letter S like this. So for example, we have a word that it doesn't have any letter S, its last letter is not letter S, then you can just add the apostrophe and letter S, like this one. Okay, I highlight the apostrophe letter S. Okay, yeah, for example, how can we use it with the relationship? Okay, so we have the singular form of noun, which is the pool. Okay, it has relationship to the diving board. So what is being related to? So now let us now put it, okay, since the pool is related to the diving board, right? We use the diving board to dive on the pool. So now how can we make it into possessive nouns? So it will become as the pool's diving board. Okay, so as you can see, right, we have the singular noun, which is the pool, and then we add the apostrophe and the letter S, because the pool has a relationship to the diving board. Okay. Okay, so let's stop here until here for another example so you can understand it more. So in here, another example now with an ownership. If earlier is relationship, this one naman is for the ownership. So we have the singular form, which is the child, and we have the ball as what is owned by the child itself. So if you're going to make it as possessive noun, it will become the child's ball. Okay, so why is it an ownership? Because the child owns the ball. Okay, it is his own ball. Okay, so it becomes as possessive noun by adding apostrophe. Okay, apostrophe with the letter S. Okay. Okay, so that is all for today's session. So I hope you guys learn on this and make sure to have a recap and review more on this. Much better that you prepare more examples. So, for example, you have watched this video, maybe it's pre recorded already. You can take notes and try to make a sentence on your own, applying these rules on your own. And that's the time that you can easily to use nouns, right? And identify what are their jobs in the sentences, right? So it's very simple topic and it's very interesting too. Okay, so for the last half of our, or the second half and last half of our session for today, we have discussed. Let's go back. Where did we stop? Okay, there you go. So we started here on the topic that a noun becomes a subject. Okay, there you go. And then, okay, when a noun becomes a subject, we can answer questions like who or what to identify the subject in the sentence. Okay, and at the same time, to also tell us about the subject, we need some verbs, okay, or other information that tells about the subject. And then next is the simple and compound subject. So in here, that remember, when it's simple subject, it is only a singular or one, or a singular noun or a single subject. Okay, while the compound subject, it has two or more subject or two or more noun as a subject. Okay. The nextly is when one noun is not enough, right? So subject complements. Okay, so when it's a subject complement, if we have already a noun as a subject, we put another noun to make it or use it as a subject complement that tells or replaces the subject or the other noun. Okay, and then lastly, okay, before we continue pala, there's other more than the subject complements. We are using linking verbs to link the two nouns as subject and subject as complement. Okay? So remember that we have linking verbs like am, are, is, was, and where. Okay. So imagine in your mind when you're putting this linking verbs that you are actually putting an equal sign. So it means when we put it like that, it means the two nouns and the subject are equivalent or it has relationship to each other. And then while the possessive nouns is the last one. The possessive nouns is when you are putting relationship and ownership to the other information for the subject. So by adding apostrophe and letter S. Okay. So you can add an apostrophe. Remember, if there is no or there is either it has with or without the letter S. Okay. Okay, so that is all for today's session. Some of the topics are easily to explain and easily to learn. Unlike with the types of nouns, there's like multiple topics in one page, right? So I hope in here we just put it on a certain pages and it has a lot of explanation, a lot of examples, and I hope you learn on this. Ayan. So good job, everyone. So I hope you learn in this sessions, 2 sessions that we have. And if you have questions, you can just leave on the comment section because I can read it naman. And if you have question, we can discuss it on the next session that we have, which is on Monday. Okay. So thank you so much everyone for listening to our live stream for today, live class for today, and see you on the next session, which is on Monday. Okay. Thank you. Bye.